I'm live. Sorry, folks, for the delay. I know we've had computer problems last weekend, but I was hoping that wouldn't happen this weekend. Anyway, let's ease in to the moment. Welcome ourselves to the mat. Welcome ourselves to our own practices because this is your practice. I'm starting standing purposely just to get a little bit of a warm up. So let your feet spread a little wide. And as you might be aware if you read the description, this is all about focus today. Drishde, which is a single point of focus of looking. Intention, which is a focused intention. Being present. And when the mind travels a little bit, coming back to the breath or the drishti, but we are right here, right now. Go ahead and float your arms up over your head and bring them back to your heart. Take that again, hands drop really slowly, just float, feel that energy, hands pressed together overhead. As you breathe out, they come to your heart. And one more time, arms overhead and hands to your heart. We're going to focus on the feet right now, feeling all four corners, or as my physical therapist likes to say, the tripod. So the center of the heel and the big toe mound and the outside mound of the little toe. It's kind of rolling around a little bit. Feeling the texture of whatever you're standing on. And then floating the toes off the mat. Spread them nice and wide. Leave them there for a moment. And press, starting with the pinky toes, press them back to the mat. This time, spread the toes wide off the mat. And then imagine that you're sort of grabbing something like a cloth, a washcloth or a little towel or something with your toes, and then pull the toes back so they're a little rounded. So you can see we're focusing on some small things. Now we'll reach up, float the arms, palms pressed together, and the hands draw the heart again. And find our way into a seat. Some of you might be able to come down without any help. And some of you might need something to support you. Our focus at the moment now will be on intention. Intention is kind of like a mindset. It's not necessarily a goal to achieve in a single sitting or 3 practices or whatever it might be. Intention is this sort of bubble that you create around yourself from this kernel right here and right here. So what is your intention? Maybe just for this practice, or maybe it's your overall life intention. Let's focus on that, and we'll take 3 cleansing breaths, repeating our intention to ourselves in our heads 3 times as we breathe. Deep breath in, full breath out the mouth. Repeat again. And a 3rd time, your intention, your breath. A little additional warm-up. So we're just going to take sort of this helicopter blade arms, except they're more flexible than a helicopter blade. Move them in different motions. Maybe you slap parts of the body if that feels okay. Finding a little spin, a little turn, a little twist. And then we'll land in a twist on the right side. Inhale front and center and twist the other side. Inhale, front and center. Hands can come to your lap or on your knees. We're going to do a little bit of neck flexibility. So we'll start by dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And if you feel like your shoulder is squinching up toward your ear, maybe you drop your hands beside you. Chin drops to the chest. Chin lifts parallel to the earth, opposite ear, opposite shoulder. Chin drops to the chest, lift it parallel to the earth. Some folks have asked me, where should my head be on things? A lot of it depends on how your neck feels, right? So if you're in a lunge twist, looking up is the traditional method, looking up toward your hand. But that might not feel good for you, so you might look down. So for the time being, we're going to continue our neck exercises. And we're going to find neck rolls, dropping the chin to the chest. We begin a very slow roll, only as far as it feels okay. That's the other part, remember, of it being your practice. Is if it's a challenge, if there's a little discomfort, I urge you to breathe into it. But if it hurts, you should stop doing whatever it is. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. Nice. Chin drops. We lift, we close our eyes, we press our fingers into the earth. So your fingertips are on the earth and you get nice and long. Tucking the tailbone forward, but then checking in with the thighs, the knees, the hips, and maybe breathing into them to loosen them. Coming back to a single point of focus, this time being the breath. I've also had several people ask me about the belly breath or the 3-part breath because they have trouble finding a breath that works. Now, you don't do this breath for every posture or all the time, but that deep breath where you're forcing the air out of the belly, I have discovered a new way to do that called the royal cough. So let's take one hand to the belly and one hand like you are blocking your germs from others as you cough. And make any sound you want, especially if you're on your own or even if you're not. So it's breathing in. And you're coughing so you can feel the belly move in and out. So when you cough outward, the belly draws in. And when you stop coughing, the belly relaxes. And we'll do it one more time. Oh my. Okay, terrific. Thank you for taking that time to become present. We're easing into the space. We're easing into our practice. We're going to find our way into a tabletop. You can always place something under your knees. Or if your knees don't bend very far back, maybe you've had surgery or an injury, you can place a folded or rolled towel behind your knees. We're going to take some rolling cat-cow. So I'm sure you're familiar with standard cat-cow. So hands on the ground, wrists right below the shoulders, fingers nice and wide. And the standard cat-cows are breathe out, tuck your tailbone, drop your head, and breathe in for the cow, drop the belly, lift the hips, lift the head. So take that again. The rolling cat-cow now is as we come to our cat, we bring the sitting bones back to the heels, stretch out, come forward with the forearms on the mat, and we come into the cow. And again, roll into the cat. Roll into the cow. And one more time, rolling into the cat. And into the cow. And here we find a neutral spine. Find some stillness. Focusing on the breath. This time the right leg reaches behind you, ball of foot on the ground. Square up the hips. Usually you start to move into the right hip and the right hip moves outward, but you want to have equanimity. You want to have balance between the two. Maybe rock forward and backward, or just press into the ball of the foot and the heel to find some stretch in the ankle and the calf. Today's class is a gentle class because we really want to focus on the moment. So what do you feel? Where do you feel it? And is there merit to that when it comes to opening up the body, strengthening the body, adding flexibility to the body? We're going to float that leg off the mat, square up the hips again. Draw the knee to the nose. As you inhale and extend, lift the left arm. Pause, square up the hips, draw the belly in. Focus on the breath and the balance as you draw the knee and elbow together. Inhale, extend. This time we're going to bring the left arm to the left and the right leg to the right. Kind of like you're flying, but with two different wings, a front wing and a back wing. We're going to place the foot down on the ground over to the right. Draw upward, if you can, with that left arm remaining out. And we find a little T. It's like a star with a short light ray. We're going to reach the arms back overhead. Press energy into the outer edge of the right foot. Bend your elbows, draw your fingers behind your neck, or maybe between your shoulder blades, and then go ahead and press the head back in the forearms. Focus on the shape that works for your body. Focus on where you feel this. Interlace your fingers, flatten the palms against the back of the head or neck. Open the elbows, lift the chest. We're going to start with a tilt, elbow tilt over toward the right. And then we'll slowly draw the right hand to the right leg and slowly reach the left arm to the sky. Breathe in. Focus, stretch the left side of the body. Use that right foot for balance. As we look down at the right foot, the left hand follows the gaze. It sweeps across the front of the body, shoulder stack over hips, and then the left hand draws down outside your left knee. The right arm will sweep in front of you, reach to the sky, rock star, pelvis presses forward. Find energy in the outer edge of the right foot. And maybe your Drishde is on your upper thumb. Or maybe that doesn't feel good for your neck. So maybe it's down on your lower thumb. If your gaze is not toward your lower thumb, look at your lower thumb. Sweep your right hand toward it around the front of your body. Come into a partial tabletop so your right leg is still out. Start to feel that stretch. Maybe you reach the leg out a little bit more. And then go ahead and drag your toe, your big toe. So lift the foot off the mat with the big toe on the ground and drag it or gracefully sweep it across and behind the left foot. We're not moving the left leg at all, left or right. And then we guide, the pole's in the way. We guide the front of the right hip toward the left heel. You might come to your forearms. You want some real estate between your shoulder blades. And if you're feeling this and getting a stretch in your left glutes, great. If you're not, or you feel like you have more to go, you could tuck the right toes under and float the knee off the mat. Come back to your intention. Maybe close your eyes. Roll the eyes upward toward the center of your forehead. And see your intention there, whether that is a word, colors, shape, a place. Very gently, we'll press into the hands, lift up and sweep the right leg behind us. Draw that knee toward your right elbow like a cat. Reach back out. Square the hips, bring the knee down to the ground. Tap the tops of the feet onto the earth, and then find your rolling cat-cow again. Next time you draw into your cow, you'll find a nice, straight, strong spine, so the belly draws in like you've just coughed out. And we'll take all that to the other side. Left leg extends behind you, ball of foot on the ground. You can remain here, just pressing into the earth and reaching back with the left heel, as long as you're getting an opening in your calf, the sole of your foot, your toes, and your ankle. Otherwise, you can rock forward and backward. Focusing on the slowness so that you can really feel the change, the flex, the stretch. Coming back with the shoulders over the wrists, left leg floats. Hips are even. Knee and nose draw together. Press the floor away. Inhale, extend. We draw the right arm in front. Pause to square everything up. Knee and elbow draw together. Inhale, reach out. Right arm to the right, left foot, I gotta watch the pole, to the left. Nice. We bring the left foot down, press the whole sole of the foot into the earth, and see if you can keep that right arm like a wing and rise up so that you have two wings going on. Two wings. A buffalo wing. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. We're gonna reach the arms up. Press the palms together, elbows bend, lift the heart, send the pelvis forward, and don't forget to use that left foot. You don't want it all in your right knee. Fingers interlace, and we stretch the collarbones wide with the elbows out, taking a tilt over toward the extended leg. Very gently and slowly, the left hand comes down, the right arm reaches high. You might find a little more tilt, opening up the right ribs. A little more energy into the outer edge of the left foot and the top of the right. Where is your Drishde? Either straight in front, or you can bring it up. That doesn't work for me. Or you can bring it down toward your left toes. And take a look down at your left toes. Allow the right hand to follow it. And we sweep it in front. It goes out to the right. And then the left arm comes toward the right, reaches up toward the sky, and the pelvis draws forward. And then we gently look down at the right hand, sweep the left hand toward it again in front of you. We draw the hands to the mat like a tabletop. Lift the heel of the left foot off the mat and keep the big toe on the mat as you sweep that leg behind the right foot and come into your glutes opener. Side might feel different. Maybe you do not focus on the difference, or maybe you do. Depends on what feels right to you. Your practice, your focus. And we rise back up, three-legged tabletop, square up the hips. And then focus on scooping the belly in, drawing the knee toward the left elbow. We extend once more and come into tabletop. We're going to go ahead and stretch the arms forward. come to the fingertips and draw your bottom toward your heels. You might draw your knees together. Forearms now drop to the earth. We draw the shoulders over them, and then one at a time, we extend the legs to a forearm plank. Focus on the power of the belly and the space between the shoulder blades. And when you're ready, the bony hips draw down, the thighs, then the toes untuck, your sphinx. Let me bring a smile to your face. Focus on the power of the smile. We're going to drop all the way down to the mat, bringing our arms into cactus, but the forearms are outside the mat. Drop your head. Maybe a little waggle of your bum, or perhaps you bend your knees and move the legs side to side. And drop the feet back down. I'm going to open up the collarbones in the shoulder. That's our focus for this next set of postures. Your left hand comes underneath your left shoulder. Some people might need to keep the arm bent on the right. I like to open it up. I actually find it a little bit easier. So it's coming straight out of my shoulder blade toward the right. Pressing into the left hand, you'll roll onto your right side. So your legs stack. You can lengthen your neck and drop your head. If you like, you might lift the top leg. You might find some ankle circles here. Open and close the toes. Maybe you even bend that knee so the left foot comes to the ground behind your right calf or knee. And after several breaths with your focus on this posture, you might actually be able to drop that left foot all the way down to the ground. And we roll back onto the belly. Arms back in cactus. Legs, knees bent. Maybe you widen your legs a little bit and move the shins like windshield wipers. And other side, feet back to the mat, legs a little closer. If you like, the left arm will come straight out of your shoulder to the left. Right hand draws under your right shoulder, and then you press and roll. Press and roll. Neck comes long, and then perhaps you let the head drop. You're welcome to lift that top leg. Find your ankle circles, open and close your toes. And then gently bend your knee to touch the right foot to the floor behind your left calf or knee or thigh. And then as we focus on the breath, things start to open up. And rolling back onto the belly. Face down, arms cactus, knees bend, and a sway of the legs. And before we rise to some standing postures, we'll find our way into a child's pose. Knees wide or narrow, your choice. Big toes touch. Head on something. So if it resists, if the floor is not close enough to you, grab a pillow or stack your hands and let your head rest. Focus on imagining the breath moving up and down the spine, creating length and space, flexibility, mobility. And now the breath moves left and right across the low back, almost as if it's making your body larger in your space. All right, into the tabletop. It's a little bit of a long tabletop, so your wrists are a couple inches in front of your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. On an exhale, send your hips high, downward dog. Many people bring their feet very close together in a down dog. If you take up a little more real estate by making space between them, it can be more helpful for the balance and your low back. You might find ways to open up here that come naturally to you, bending and straightening the knees, maybe drawing the heels left and right. Inhale forward to your high plank and pause. Strong belly, even shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. Rise to the tiptoes, bend your knees a lot so your belly is as close to your thighs as possible. Look past your hands and either hop or walk to your hands for a forward fold. If you like a bind, like a rag doll, take that here. Focus on the feet. Inner arch is lifting a little bit, but the outer edges of the feet near the top press to the earth, and the center of the back heel. Nod your head, shake your head, open and close your jaw. Drop your hands, maybe a little sway. Halfway lift, hands to shins, but not knees. Draw your shoulders toward your hips. Smile. Focus on the smile, which just honestly opened up my heart and my collarbones. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand. Arms sweep overhead. My head just got cut off, but we won't worry about that today. It's not my head that it's all about. In fact, we don't need the noggin for yoga, so heck, cut it off in the video. Exhale, forward fold. Take another halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. This time the arms come out, right out of the shoulders, left and right. We're just going to take a peek over the left shoulder and watch what happens as you slowly spin the shoulder so the palm lifts toward the sky. And then slowly the arm turns and the palm faces the back wall or whatever wall is behind you. And again, slowly turn. We're really working the shoulder and turn it back. And see if you can keep it there. You now peek over the right shoulder. Slowly watch everything as the palm turns up. Focus on the palm turning back, down and back. And then one more time, palm up. And then down and back. Face forward with the arms like this and the hands facing behind you. You're going to sit into a slightly wide-legged chair. And then imagine that you're kind of wrapping a cloak around yourself. So you're drawing the spine a little rounded and the backs of the hands come together. You're like, yeah, this secret superhero. And then we're going to open up and stand with the arms wide, palms forward like a ta-da. Draw the hands to your low back, fingers pointing down. Press the flesh downward. Send the pelvis forward. We're taking a little back bend, so lengthen the torso a lot. Squeeze the shoulder blades and lift the heart. Your focus is on not dumping into the low back, so keeping the belly strong, and breathing the heart nice and wide, like it's attached by light to the sun. We stack the hips over the shoulders. We're not upside down, so shoulders over the hips. Bring your hands to the front of your hips and step your back foot maybe, I don't know, halfway back, like a warrior one stance. Maybe a little bit more, because we will eventually try out a warrior one. But first, our pyramid pose. So we're gonna dig our fingertips or our thumbs into the hip creases and focus on hinging here to keep the back strong and straight. So on an exhale, we come halfway down. What tends to happen is either we send the right hip out and forward, or we send the left hip back and out. And we want them even Steven. That's why the halfway down. If you like, you may now come all the way down. You might use pillows or blocks. You might have a slight bend in your front knee. Head hangs loose. Bend your front knee so it's over your front ankle and lengthen your stance a little bit. I'm going to bring the arms by the ears, rise up on an angle, use your belly a lot. And then rise all the way to your warrior one. Nice job. I can't even see, but I'm sure it's a nice job. We'll take cactus shape arms and then eagle arms right under left. Space between your shoulder blades, lots of energy into your back heel. Elbows lift shoulder height or higher. If you feel wobbly like I just did, you can move your front foot out to the right. And rather than the hands being close to the face, you move them away. We're going to humble this warrior, so keep the front knee bent, a lot of energy in your back leg. I said this would be a gentle class, which it is, but that doesn't mean we're not doing warriors. So we're going to drop both hands to the ground. Bring your back foot parallel to the back of the mat and open up the left arm. Extended side angle. So see if you can press your hips to be even. And then we'll rise up, warrior two, bent front knee. Bring your hands to your hips and straighten your front leg. We're going to pivot. Now we're going to find a wide-legged fold. Halfway down, wide front to back. That's not wide, that's long. And all the way back down. If you need to bend your front knee, go ahead. Drop the head. Back leg is straight, energy in the heel. And we will step forward, forward fold. Drop your bottom. Bring your arms straight out from your shoulders. Your belly might be on your thighs. Then bring your arms by your ears. Now, keeping that nice long straight line from the tailbone and the hips all the way to the fingertips, you're going to lift up a little bit into your chair. We'll rise up to stand for a twist, left arm forward, right arm behind. Watch your hips. They love to twist with the arms. So you might not go quite as far in your twist, but you want to keep your hips squared up. Gazing at your back thumb like there's nothing else in the world. If that doesn't work for you, gaze at the floor, straight in front of your nose, around 6 feet out. We're going to come forward with the right arm and clap the left hand, and then let that swing the left arm behind. Again, check in with your hips. Your gaze, if possible, is focused, your drishde, on your left thumb. Otherwise, if your head cannot turn that far, you're looking as if you're looking over your shoulder and about 6 feet in front and down. We draw forward, palms together, arms overhead, and sweep the arms out and around to your hips. This time we'll step the right foot back, maybe move the left foot out. In a sort of warrior one, back foot. Steady and sturdy. Thumbs or fingertips into the hip creases. And remember what we did on the other side. We want to keep the hips nice and square. And fold halfway down. You're using your belly, your royal cough. Feeling here, shoulders away from the ears. Feel what you feel. And if you like, all the way to the mat. And what I feel is a tighter back leg on the left side than I did on the right. So I could bend my front knee, but it's just more of a challenge. It's definitely not pain. And a bend now in your front knee. If you don't have it, it comes over the ankle. If it could easily come forward of the ankle, you're going to step your back foot back a little bit more. And like we did with chair pose, and on the other side here, we're going to bring the arms to the ears, then rise up, warrior one. A bent front knee, a powerful back leg. Move things around if you need to. We're not looking for landing in the posture at a 10. Cactus shape arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and this time left elbow under right, making sure that that back leg is super powered up. I'm squeezing my glutes to help that happen. So it doesn't matter whether you only have one wrap or you have 2 wraps. Lift your elbow, shoulder height or higher. And don't let the hands fall toward the forehead. Humble this warrior. Both hands down to the mat. And extend the right arm up for your extended side angle. I'm pressing my left thigh and knee into my left tricep. Twisting from the waist, so I'm not putting all the energy in the shoulder. And now I'm going to bring my back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Rising up, keep that bent knee, warrior 2. Hands to hips. Draw forward. Straighten both legs and a long fold over your front leg, knowing that if you have to bend your front knee, you will. Hands move forward of the front foot, your high plank, into a tabletop very briefly. We'll draw upward, knees a little wide. Hands behind you, press the flesh down, just like when we were standing. I'm actually going to do a little bit different for the half camel by tucking the toes underneath. Flesh presses down, pelvis forward, front body long, shoulder blades together, heart lifts, head back. And then maybe reaching back with your left hand and up with your right. And then down with your right and up with your left. Continue to press the pelvis forward so you're not dumping it all into your low back. Left hand to your heart as your shoulders stack over your hips, right hand to your heart. I'm going to take a moment seated with a little twist to the right. and a twist to the left, and right, and left. Depending on how you like to come into pigeon, I will guide you one way, which might be good if it's different from how you normally do it, but you might say, not for me, I'm just gonna get into pigeon. So tabletop, I have to grab my right ankle and bring that shin forward and roughly parallel to the front of the mat, but I wouldn't worry about that. Then I scoot my back leg as long as it possibly can be and find my fold. Now, normally I would encourage something underneath your right thigh or bottom if it's lifted away from the mat. So check that out. I have a little bit of space between there, but I'm feeling very comfortable in the position. Not like I'm holding myself up, but my hips are square. If your body or mind insists on symmetrical, you can come back to your tabletop to find your way into your pigeon. I'm simply going to sit down, swing my left leg over, lean onto the left side, swing my right leg back. Beginning to wrap it up, shoulders stack over the hips. We shift onto the left leg and swing the right leg around. You'll come all the way onto your back. And we'll move into a very simple twist. Knees bent, shift the hips over to the right, and drop your knees to the left. Arms are out in a T. You might gaze over the right shoulder. Check in with the shoulder blades, allow them to be on the ground, and if they're not, adjust. And if they're still not, maybe you take that blanket or pillow or towel and place it under the arm where the shoulder is lifted off the ground. And when you're ready, you'll take it to the other side. That feels really good to me today. Returning your spine, sort of like an unzipping. Allow alignment as it would normally be top to bottom, and then maybe gather your knees into your chest. Just give them a little squeeze and find a rock left and right. We're going to move into Shavasana. You might take a full body stretch first. You might decide your Shavasana is sitting up. Or maybe the arms are overhead, or maybe it's more traditional with the hands by the sides. And here we return to our intention, focusing on the here, the now, this space, the power of your breath, your heart mind, your movement. This is your practice. What is your intention? Nice big breath in. Let any remaining tension go out your mouth. Focus on the ease of perhaps coming to your side and then to a seat, or simply drawing your way to a seat. Legs can cross. Hands in your lap to start. Nice breath in and out. Drop your hands by your sides. Consider your intention. Focus on your energy, what you're radiating, what you're emanating. Find a smile. Sweep the arms out and up overhead like you could create this bubble of smile and intention around yourself. And then draw your hands to your heart. May all beings find ease. May they recognize themselves in one another. May they share their happy moments and their sad. And may you find comfort resting in your own heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for the treasure of practicing together, even though we are maybe a little afar. At least we're over the interwebs. And whether you're live or watching the recording, I wish you the best day, evening, week, month, happy August ever. And my heart to yours. We all seek happiness. We just look to find it different ways. Allow your focus to come into play today. Have a good one. My name is Karen, Salt and Sand Studios, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye.